Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We are here at the 2025 edition of the New York Auto Show. Of course, we had to stop at the Hyundai booth with the reveal of this vehicle right here. This is it. This is your updated, changed up, redesigned 2026 Hyundai Palisade. This particular one is the top dog trim known as the Calligraphy. But before we get into this mid-size three-row SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. So think about it. Y2K. That was the birth of the first Hyundai SUV, the Santa Fe. Since then, their lineup has really grown and they've had some major hits along the way. Now what's fascinating is that mid-size three-row SUV segment has been fierce, especially with the sister brand Kia and its Telluride. Now Hyundai strikes back with the updated Palisade. You're still gonna get your good old internal combustion engine, 6-cylinder power with more of that power, but there's also gonna be hybrid power as well. On top of that, we have an updated style, and wait until I show you that interior. But if you're looking for that mid-size three-row SUV and you want some luxury, but you don't want to pay some extreme luxury price, does the Calligraphy trim make sense on this new Palisade? Let's go ahead, let's dive in and find out. Right off the bat, the color combo. This metallic blue really pops nicely underneath the show lights, and wait until I let you inside. It's got a nice bright interior, which is becoming harder and harder to find with these mid-size three rows. Now up front, you have the new face of the Palisade. Signature LED daytime running lamps. Of course, you're gonna have your LED headlights, and look at the way they run that daytime running lamp horizontal throughout that upper grille area. Lighting has been something that Hyundai has done extremely well over the years and throughout their models, and I really like how they kind of cleaned up the look of the front end of the Palisade. All the way down, you have your bright silver finish, some more of that body color, and then look at the unique style that they did on the lower portion with that flat metallic silver. Now, as we come across that enlarged grille, it's interesting how they kind of got away from that trickle effect of how it broke apart into the lighting. Now you have a true solid grille design, horizontal bars with the silver because this is a Calligraphy trim, forward-facing camera. Working your way down, more of that flat metallic silver, some body color, and then gloss black on that lower portion, but definitely still has that unique look. There's one of those things that with Hyundai vehicles, they really have a unique look, not only when it comes to the bodywork, but also the lighting. Now, as we rise up, you have that Hyundai badge. Remember, the first Hyundai that was sold here in the United States was the Hyundai Excel. You could only get it as a sedan or a hatchback. There actually wasn't an SUV or a crossover SUV because the year 2000 hadn't happened yet, and we didn't get the Santa Fe. Now from the side, look at that nice aircraft carrier style hood. I like the way it doesn't have a bunch of folds in it like a piece of origami. You have that nice U-shaped indentation. That's actually gonna help you with forward visibility. And then you have the two higher sides, which is also gonna tell you where those reference points are of your front fenders. Now, as we come around the bend, of course, if we have a new body shape, we're gonna have new style wheels. And on this particular Calligraphy, 21-inch wheels, machine aluminum, dark metallic gray finish. It's a very complex design, but I think it works nicely with the way they did the body lines. If you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of the tires? Tires are 265 on the width, 45 series sidewall, and on the Calligraphy trim, everything is painted metallic color, or metallic blue. Nice bold indentation into that fender, and then continuing down the side, color matched on the mirror caps. You got your 360-degree cameras, your LED turn signals. I like the way that they black out the A-pillar. It doesn't do anything, obviously, physically for overall size, but it gives you the perception of it not being so heavy, especially when you look at the side of the vehicle. So I think that was very smart to do. You have your raised bright silver roof rails. You can get your crossbars. Aluminum trim only along the top, and I love the way it flares into this massive hockey stick design that goes into the rear corner of the liftgate area. Nice size on the quarter glass. That indentation, I think, gives it a lot of character from the side. And even on the bottom, how they did the flat silver. Instead of doing gloss black or flat black, nice to see some silver with the blue. And then, of course, coming towards the rear, around the backside, you have that long roof spoiler. No exposed wiper. Wiper is nicely tucked underneath that spoiler. Look at the way they did the LED lighting. Super bright, even on that bottom portion. The Palisade name spelled out for you. Of course, the Hyundai badge. And then as we work our way down to ground level, they did super clean on the lower bumper. No exposed exhaust, just some nice silver trim, a little bit of gloss black, and of course that H-Track badge, which means that ours has all-wheel drive. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood. Let's go inside, because we're not gonna pop the hood. Let's go inside so I could show you that luxurious interior of the calligraphy trim. All right, guys, we are inside this all-new 2026 Hyundai Palisade. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, what about power underneath the hood? Underneath the hood, you have two different ways to go. You could go naturally aspirated 6-cylinder, which now produces 287 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque. It's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Or your other choice is a hybrid system. This one is the 6-cylinder. So we're gonna focus on that, and then we eventually will bring also, of course, the hybrid. But let's see for 2026 what Hyundai is doing to the door panels. Absolutely love the super clean style. Now, the white finish may not be super easy to keep clean, but it looks so good here at the New York Auto Show. You have your white stitching, that silver on the door handle, and look at the ambient lighting that's lurking from behind. A little bit of dark soft touch to kind of break up the sea of white, and the door pocket is large enough to easily put 4 Krispy Kreme glazed donuts and a cup of coffee to wash it down. Now, going from the door panels to the dash, we have the Bose premium sound system. I love the dark material up top with the stitching. The white finish is super clean, and look at that open pore white stained wood. The blue ambient lighting. You have a little bit of a Twinkie tray down below, a baker's dozen of Twinkies. Even the way the edge of the dash wraps down, very, very modern, very clean. Working your way in, we do have one screen. I would say it's uninterrupted, but you do have a little dead area here. It'll be interesting to see if AC controls will show up on that when we're doing the media drive, but you got all your familiar apps and icons, which are really wonderful. You could go into your seats. Obviously, we have the car off because we're at the auto show. It would have been nice to be able to show you some of those features, but all the usual apps, very easy to use. There's your navigation setup there. Let me close that. There we are here at the Javits Center. Working our way down, you have your drive terrain modes. You could do that with a toggle switch or the button. You got your dual climate controls. When the vehicle is on, all of this will illuminate with all your AC controls. Real physical buttons and knobs with your audio controls, which is great. Hill descent control, and this is for your cameras. You hit that, and that'll allow you to access your cameras. Now, down below, we do have a 12 volt. You have your wireless charging area, and then you have a perfect place for a purse, a merce, a sack, a satchel. Love the way you have this easy, clean design. USB-Cs, 3 of them, right? Easy access. You have your wireless charging. 2 large cup holders, more of that open pore wood. Make sure you don't get splinters if you're rubbing your wood. And then we open this up, some felt lining, and you could probably put in there, I would say, I think you could put a Sony Discman and a Walkman in there and really have some old school tech. I find that people are starting to like some of the old school stuff. And that's what I'm all about, is old school. So you could keep that in there, and then it's the perfect conversation piece. If you're trying to get a date, put your Discman on and people are gonna ask you, what is that? Materials, you got calligraphy embossed into the headrests, the nice perforations, the smooth stitching, full power assist for the passenger, full power assist for the driver, and you do have the chauffeur seat setting. So I could actually move the seat. Look at this. Look how it's moving out of the way. It's really crazy how you're able to move this seat with those chauffeur seat controls. And then up top, you have a standard size sunroof for the front passengers, but then you have a mini panoramic sunroof I'll be able to show you for the rear seat passengers. And this is a digital rear view mirror, which is another nice piece of technology. But why don't you come over to the business end? I got a weird steering wheel I want to show you in this new Palisade. All right, guys, business time. Behind the wheel, you do have that Palisade sill plate, nicely placed, looks good to welcome you. You have all of your seat controls, easy access, especially when it comes to lower lumbar and everything. I'm 6 feet tall, and there's plenty of room in here. They really sculpted it nicely. There's our backup camera. Well, not backup camera, but this is your digital rearview mirror. Look at the nice clear resolution. That guy's picking his nose back there. Seats, you got the two-tone, the dark, almost like a smoky navy blue with the white finish. I still wish they wouldn't do this. This is actually H in Morse code. It kind of cheapens the experience. Nice thumb wheel drive controls. You do have paddles to go up and down that 8-speed automatic. It is a manual tilting and telescoping wheel. And then you do have that 12.3-inch rest of the display with all of your different information to be displayed on that screen, all by the press of a button. Really nice to be able to display a cornucopia of information. Let's see if the corner cameras work. No, they don't work because we're not moving. Down below, we do have our column shifter, and this is your start-stop button, which is interesting. So they have that all in one piece. But why don't we go ahead? It's not just about the people up front. Let's get into the mid-row and the third row and find out how much room there is in this new Palisade. All right, guys, mid-row time in this new Palisade. You can see the great seat material, all the attention to detail. You actually have power seat controls on this calligraphy. Captain's chairs, and they need to do something about this armrest. I'm gonna have to zonk it. It's just not wide enough, but it does look good. Backs of the seats, you have large pockets. This is where you could put your Sears wish book when it's getting close to the holidays. 2 USB-Cs, nicely placed up top. There's our chauffeur seat controls. You do have a home power source. And then what's this? Ooh, look at that felt line. This is where you could put all your Legos while you're building in the mid-row so that the Legos aren't all over the floor and people don't step on them with their bare feet. I'm sitting here, seats are comfy. You do have the manual security shades that are nice. And then I'm gonna go ahead and kind of just do a little auto show movement here. Boom. Got into the third row. And what's interesting is that you could see that when it comes to the third row, you actually have power. So there's power sliding seats and power recline. Look at that, USB-Cs, 3 stages of heated seats, which are great. And then having that ability to recline the seat. I mean, I'm 6 feet tall, and even though my knees are a little high, I still got plenty of room, and you have your power sunshade. So as Lori gets out, she's gonna be able to show you the sunshade and the AC control. So she's gonna have to spin around and get that when on her way out to show you what those controls look like. But plenty of room in this third row, which for a mid-size is not easy. And then of course up top we have our 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats, and our AC controls. But why don't we go ahead, I'm gonna get out from being back here and we're gonna get in that cargo area of the new Palisade. All right guys, time to get in that cargo area. We're gonna hit the button, nice electric assist, the lights flash for you. This is where you're gonna be greeted to plenty of space with that third row up. Now on the driver's side is where all the action is gonna happen. You have your 12-volt, easy access for a power source, and then we do have our seat controls here to fold down. Let's see if this is gonna happen for us, to fold down the rear third row. Now unfortunately it looks like because the vehicle is not on, I can't fold down those seats. So you get the idea. It's a 60-40 split. The seats will fold down, and then that mid-row folds down as well because it is electric assist. Underneath the cargo floor, you do have some nice storage. The problem is I don't know why they don't make this to be a cooler. That would make more sense. But nice, easy access to the switch gear. I'm gonna walk this way so I don't get hit in the head. And then one of those things when it comes to this mid-size 3-row SUV, like I said, is the value, is the price, and all the other things that they're bringing for this vehicle for 2026. But let me know in the comment section what you think. Is Hyundai still bringing it when it comes to the Palisade, and is this the best mid-size SUV? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti Rise family. Got to thank Raiti for making the magic happen with the camera. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.